everyone. Today I'm going to be doing the 4-marker challenge. It was a while ago when I did the 3-marker challenge, and I decided to add an extra marker to do the 4-marker challenge because I thought that would be really fun and really exciting to do. So here you can just see me kind of scattering my markers around and trying to pick one randomly and closing my eyes. So one of the ones that I had randomly picked was 42, like a yellowish green, and you may notice that on my hand there's some blue splotches. That's because I had filmed the doing Sharpie art video a little while ago when I was filming this. So there was still some blue Sharpie on my hand from that video. And you'll see I also picked a red marker randomly. So I was thinking that was pretty Christmassy, but then I tried randomly picking some other ones, and there was 69, a purplish blue sort of color. And then I jumbled it around some more before picking another one, and it was 6, this pink color. So I was like, oh wow, that's pretty cool. That seems pretty Christmassy. I might just lean into that. So I may schedule this one closer to Christmas because I thought this would be really fun to just draw something Christmassy since I had gotten a couple Christmassy colors. So I really decided to lean into that. And what I was thinking was like an elf who was like setting up Christmas lights and stuff, but they accidentally got tangled up in the lights. And I thought that would be really cool, really funny. So here I'm just trying to draw that elf's pose and trying to make it really fluid, really dynamic. And also just trying to think of like some ideas for like outfits and things. And also like hairstyle and like where I'm going to put the colors, that sort of thing. So I was thinking for like the purplish blue color, I was going to make that the elf's skin tone. And then for her hair, I was going to use the pink. And I was also going to use the pink for the lights as well, since that seemed to be a pretty light color. So here you can just see me drawing the facial expression, just trying to make that really seem like it's really surprised, because I was thinking like this elf could be like really clumsy and didn't realize, like, oh my gosh, it got tangled up in Christmas lights, oh no. And here I'm also adding the elf ears, and I also decided to give her really curly, really poofy buns on the top of her head because I thought that would be really cool. And also adding some curly hair that might not have gotten into the buns, like some leftover hair strands that didn't get tied into the buns, I thought would be really cute as well. So then I decided to just draw a quick, like, wavy line that would show where the lights were going, and then just try to draw the fingers, like, draw all those little features before I go into the outfit any further. So just drawing details on the lights. And for the outfit, I was thinking like almost stereotypical, like Christmassy outfit. So I decided to give her like really fluffy boots, and I also decided to give like pom-poms to the end of her shoelaces, and decided to give a similar style to her dress by having like her have this like fluffy turtleneck as well, and having the same material for what was on the turtleneck to be on the end of her dress and on her sleeves. And I also gave her like these little almost like hoodie strings, and I kind of wish I had drawn the hoodie in because I felt like that would have been so cool, like having her have a hoodie. But I didn't draw that, sadly. That was something I had thought of only after I did all the filming and drawing of this illustration. But oh well. So here I'm just adding in the lights and where those would go. And you can also see I had drawn the big stack of lights on the left side, and then a little cord on the right side. And I was really trying to remember like what the lights kind of looked like in terms of like the endings as well, because I didn't have lights near me as reference. So a lot of this was mainly just like trying to remember what lights looked like as far as drawing them went. So then I started with the line art, and I think the line art turned out really well. I just did it the way I usually did, with the line art on the outside thicker than the line art on the inside, and also making some different things have varied line weights just to really show some variation and just really make the illustration pop. And here you can see me going in with the microns just to make the difference in terms of variation. So yeah, this line art turned out really smoothly, and I think actually I kind of like the line art more than the sketch. And usually I hold them on pretty equal grounds. Like the sketch and the line art are usually pretty much the same most of the time, and I don't really compare one higher than the other because they're usually just pretty much the same. But for this one, I think the line art turned out better, in my opinion, so I don't know, I just really like it. So then I come in with my Bear Eraser and just erase all of the leftover parts of the pencil sketch. And then I go into the coloring. And I color the skin in with the blue. And I think the skin turned out really well. Like, there's not much to really say for that because it just turned out so well the first time. So here I'm just finishing that up. And then moving on to the lights, which I color the wires green, and I just really like the green and the red in the same illustration because they're complementary colors, so they're like meant to contrast yet complement each other. So I don't know, you can kind of see the sleeve of the dress there, so it's just like really complemented each other for this, and I just really like that part of it. And I don't know, that it kind of bleeded into the lights, which were supposed to be a light pink, but it's not that noticeable. So it turned out pretty well. And so the pink for the lights turned out pretty well. Sadly, it did kind of overlap onto the dress, but thankfully the dress was to be a way darker red, so in the end that didn't really matter. And the red, sadly, it did kind of overlap into places where it was supposed to be white, because like the faux fur places on the dress were supposed to be white. So I had to try to use my white gel pen to fix that. Also the pom-poms, you could see me overlapping the pom-poms with the white gel pen a lot because that was supposed to be white. So I tried coloring over that over and over and over to try to get rid of that red. But in the end, all I did was tear the paper, so I kind of just had to leave that one pom-pom alone. And then I just go back to the other pom-poms, just making sure that those turned out okay before I ultimately end up moving on with this drawing. Yeah, you can just kind of see how many times I ended up doing that right here. And then just moving on to the hair. And I think the hair in the end turned out really great. Like, that might just be one of my favorite parts of this illustration was just the hair. I mean, the rest of it is great, but like, I don't know, something about the way I shaded this hair, I just really like it a lot. So, here you can just kind of see me using the red and the pink to just shade the curly hair, and then I draw the eyes green because I kind of felt like I needed the green somewhere else. And then I just move on to the lights because I really wanted to make those reflective because lights have glass, you know, and glass is reflective, so the lights would be too, and I tried to show that in this illustration before I added the whites of this girl's eyes, like, you know, the highlights. And then I started shading the dress, and sadly that did kind of end up getting onto some of the lights, so I had to use the white gel pen to fix that. And I don't know, I just really liked this illustration with the shading, even though I do say how these colors overlap in certain places. I think it did end up turning really, really well, especially with the skin, and you can see me shading that here. I don't know, the skin and the hair, just really like that. And also the shading on the dress just looks really well done. So those parts I really like. And here you can just see me shading the palms of her hand. Well, palm of her hand, I guess. And just trying to fix the mistake with the dress again. Just trying to make sure that that really shows. So I'm just going back in with the micron just to make sure that that part shows up. And with that, the piece is done. I really like these limited marker challenges because it really shows how well of an illustration you can do with just a couple of markers and not like an entire set. So I find this really fun. If you guys like these sorts of videos too, you can hit the like and subscribe buttons. That would be greatly appreciated. And with that, I hope you have a magnificent day, and I will see you all later.